The story begins in a quiet, dimly lit house, its walls lined with unpacked boxes and half-assembled furniture. Daniel, a man in his late 30s with tired eyes, moves through the space with the slow, methodical pace of someone still adjusting to a new place. The air is thick with dust, and the faint scent of aged wood lingers, giving the house an almost sentient presence, as if it watches him. As he shifts a heavy bookshelf into place, his gaze drifts down the narrow hallway. Something catches his attention. A door. Not just any door, but one he is certain wasn't there before. It stands slightly ajar, its dark wood grain unnaturally smooth, lacking a handle or any visible mechanism to open or close it. A faint, almost imperceptible hum emanates from the other side, a sound that doesn't belong in the silence of an empty house. Daniel pauses, his breath hitching. He knows the layout of this house. He's walked this hallway a dozen times since moving in. There was never a door here. He should turn away, dismiss it as a trick of the light or his own exhaustion. But curiosity coils in his chest, tightening like a vice. He steps closer, the floorboards creaking beneath his weight, the sound too loud in the stillness. His fingers hover near the edge of the door, hesitating. A cold draft seeps through the gap, carrying with it a scent that is neither musty nor stale, but empty, like the air between stars. With a slow push, the door swings inward, revealing not a room, not a closet, but an abyss. Pure, unfathomable darkness stretches beyond the threshold, yet his feet remain planted on solid ground. The rational part of his mind screams at him to step back, to shut the door and forget it exists. But another part, the part that has always wondered about the unseen, the unexplained, urges him forward. He takes a single step inside. The door slams shut behind him. Panic surges through him as he whirls around, hands scrabbling at where the door should be. But there is nothing, only endless black. His breath comes in sharp gasps, his pulse a frantic drum in his ears. Just as despair begins to take hold, the darkness shifts. And then, impossibly, he is back, standing in the hallway, facing the door, the same door, slightly ajar, humming softly. His hands tremble. His mind races. Did he imagine it? Did he black out? But the fear in his veins is too real, too visceral to dismiss. He stares at the door. And the door, in its silent, patient way, stares back. Themes in this scene. The uncanny. The door defies logic, existing where it shouldn't, creating a deep sense of unease. Curiosity versus fear. Daniel's internal struggle mirrors humanity's pull toward the unknown, even when it terrifies us. Isolation. The empty house amplifies his vulnerability, making the intrusion of the supernatural even more unsettling. This moment, the discovery, is where the nightmare begins. Not with a scream, not with a monster, but with a door that shouldn't be there, and the terrifying realization that it was waiting for him all along. Would you like a deeper dive into the psychological horror elements or the symbolism of the door itself? The air grows colder as Daniel stands before the door, its impossible presence gnawing at his sense of reality. He knows, somewhere deep in his bones, that stepping through will change everything. But the silence of the house presses in around him, urging him forward as if the walls themselves are whispering, "Go on. See what's inside." He reaches out, fingers brushing the edge of the door. The wood is unnaturally smooth, almost slick, like polished stone. There's no resistance as he pushes it wider, revealing only darkness beyond. Not the shallow dark of an unlit room, but an endless, depthless void. No walls, no floor, no ceiling, just blackness so complete it feels alive. Yet impossibly, his feet find solid ground. A step forward, then another. The door swings shut behind him with a soft, final click. His breath catches. He spins around, hands outstretched, but the door is gone. There's nothing, just the infinite dark pressing in from all sides. No sound, no light, no way back. His pulse hammers in his throat, his skin prickling with the primal terror of being trapped in a place that shouldn't exist. He calls out, but his voice doesn't echo. It's swallowed whole as if the void is hungry. Then, movement. A flicker at the edge of his vision. A whisper, too faint to make out. His name? A warning? He turns, but there's nothing there. Just the dark. Just the silence. He walks. How long? Seconds? Hours? Time doesn't seem to pass here. His footsteps make no sound. His body feels weightless, untethered. He could be floating. He could be falling. Then, light. A dim, sickly glow blooms in the distance, and for a wild, hopeful moment, he thinks it's an exit. He stumbles toward it, but as he nears, the light sharpens into the shape of a door. His door. The same dark wood. The same faint hum. It stands before him, slightly ajar, just as it was in the hallway. His stomach drops. This isn't an escape, it's a loop. He reaches for the handle that isn't there, pushes it open, and steps through into the hallway of his house, right back where he started. But something is different. The air is heavier. The shadows cling too long to the corners, and when he looks down the hall, the door is still there. Waiting. Themes in this scene. The illusion of control. Daniel thinks he's making choices, but the void dictates his path. Dread of the infinite. The endless dark plays on the fear of being lost forever, with no reference points. The unreality of time. Minutes stretch into eternity, making escape feel impossible. This is the moment Daniel realizes the rules of his world have unraveled. The door isn't just a passage, it's a predator, and it's just begun to toy with him. Would you like to explore the psychological unraveling in the next scene, or delve deeper into the symbolism of the void? The air in the hallway feels different now, thicker, as if the walls themselves are holding their breath. Daniel stands frozen, staring at the door that has no right to exist, his skin still humming with the memory of the void. He tells himself it was a hallucination, a trick of exhaustion, but the cold sweat on his palms tells another story. He should walk away, board it up, burn the house down. But he doesn't. Instead, his hand lifts again, drawn to the door like a sleepwalker to an open window. The wood is colder this time, the hum beneath his fingertips louder, vibrating through his bones like a warning. He hesitates, just for a second, before pushing it open. Darkness. The same infinite black. The same impossible floor beneath his feet. This time, he doesn't panic. This time, he steps forward with purpose, eyes straining for any detail, any flaw in the emptiness. But the void offers nothing. No sound, no light, no end. Then, movement. A shadow flickers at the edge of his vision, too fast to catch. A whisper slithers past his ear, syllables just shy of forming words. He spins, heart hammering, but there's nothing there. Just the dark. Just the silence. He walks, and then, the door. His door. It stands before him again, same as before, same as always. A scream builds in his throat, but he swallows it down. He won't give the void the satisfaction. He steps through. Back in the hallway. Again. But now, the house is different. The clock on the wall ticks backward. His reflection in the mirror blinks a second too late. The air smells faintly of smoke, though nothing is burning. And the door is still there, waiting, laughing. Themes in this scene, the horror of repetition. The loop strips away Daniel's agency, turning him into a prisoner of his own curiosity. The uncanny shift. The house's subtle changes create a creeping sense of wrongness, making even the familiar feel alien. The void as a character. The darkness isn't just a place, it's watching, playing with him, savoring his slow unraveling. This is where Daniel's nightmare truly begins. Not with a jump scare, not with a monster, but with the slow sinking realization that he's trapped in a game he can't win. The door will always be there, and it will always be open. Would you like to explore the whispers in the void next, or delve into the house's history and its connection to the door? The fourth time Daniel emerges from the door, he does not scream. He does not run. Instead, he stands in the hallway, breathing hard, his fingers pressed against the peeling wallpaper as if to convince himself the world is still solid. The door looms behind him, silent and indifferent. He knows now, this is not something he can outrun. So he begins to dig. The house has answers. It must. He tears through old boxes left by previous owners, fingers blackening with dust as he pulls out yellowed receipts, faded photographs, a child's drawing of a door scribbled in frantic black crayon. The more he searches, the more the house seems to resist. Floorboards creak underfoot when he knows he stepped lightly. Doors he could have sworn were open swing shut behind him. The air grows thick with the scent of mildew, though the walls are dry. Then, in the attic, beneath a loose floorboard, a newspaper clipping. The headline is a punch to the gut. Local family vanishes without a trace. The article is decades old, the ink smudged, but the details are clear. A husband, wife, and child gone overnight. The only clue? A neighbor's account of hearing a door slam shut at midnight, though the house had no back door. Daniel's hands shake. He reads it again. And again. The family's name is unfamiliar, but the address isn't. His address. A knock at the front door jolts him from his thoughts. Mrs. Henderson, the elderly neighbor from across the street, stands on his porch, her gnarled fingers clutching a casserole dish like a shield. She doesn't greet him. Instead, her milky eyes fix on something over his shoulder, the hallway, the door. "You've seen it then," she says, not a question. Daniel's blood turns to ice. She tells him in a voice like dry leaves that the door isn't new. It's been there for years, for decades, for longer than she can remember. It doesn't appear for everyone. Just the lost ones, the ones who don't belong. It doesn't let you go, she whispers. It just lets you think you can. Then she leaves, her casserole dish abandoned on the porch, as if she knows he won't be around to eat it. Daniel stares at the door. For the first time, it stares back. Themes in this scene. The weight of history. The house's past isn't just backstory. It's a warning Daniel is doomed to repeat. The futility of escape. Every clue he uncovers only tightens the door's grip, proving there's no way out. The neighbor as harbinger. Mrs. Henderson isn't just a trope, she's the voice of the house itself, confirming his fate. This is the moment Daniel realizes he's not solving a mystery. He's reading his own obituary. Would you like to explore the final confrontation with the door next, or unravel the deeper mythology of what the door truly is? The air in the void has grown solid, a suffocating press against Daniel's skin as he stands surrounded by the countless versions of himself. Their hollow eyes watch him, not with judgment, but with a terrible understanding. One of them reaches out, skeletal fingers brushing his arm, and in that touch floods a truth more devastating than the darkness itself. Memories that are not his own unfold behind his eyes. He sees the house as it was a century ago, a different family, a different man standing where he now stands, opening the same impossible door. He sees the decades peel away like layers of old paint, each era marked by another lost soul stepping through, never to return. The door was never meant to be opened. It was never meant to be found. It is a wound in the world, a seam where reality has frayed, and it feeds on the curious, the desperate, the ones who cannot let go. Worst of all, he sees himself, not as he is now, but as he was before the house, before the door. A man who had already lost everything long before he moved in. A man who was already half a ghost. The door didn't take him, it recognized him. The Daniels surrounding him begin to dissolve, their forms unraveling like smoke, their whispers fading into a single word. Welcome. The void shudders. The light, cold and distant, flickers like a dying candle. Daniel feels it then, the awful, inevitable pull. His edges blur, his thoughts slow. He is not being consumed. He is becoming part of the door, becoming part of the house, becoming another voice in the dark that will one day whisper to the next lost soul who stands where he once stood. The last thing he sees is the hallway, his hallway, stretching out before him, the door standing open. Waiting. Always waiting. Themes in this scene. The cycle eternal. The door is not just a trap, but a living thing that sustains itself on the lost, repeating its hunger across generations. The horror of belonging. The true terror is not that Daniel was taken, but that he was always meant to be here. His life before was the illusion, the house as a living entity. The structure is not haunted, it is the haunting, a conscious thing that watches, waits, and chooses its victims. This is not an ending, it is a revelation. The door was never the mystery. Daniel was. Would you like to explore the deeper mythology of the house's origins, or witness the beginning of the next victim's descent? Perhaps with Daniel now among the whispering voices that guide them forward? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next one. Bye for now.